Hello and welcome back to the Authenticity Wildfire Summit. I am super excited to introduce our next Authenticity Wildfire speaker, and that is Jeri Tourand. Let me tell you a little bit about Jeri. Jeri Tourand is a self-love and relationship coach, best-selling author, speaker, and founder of Living from Heart Center, known as the Love Mentor and the Dark Night of the Soul doula. She guides awakening souls through profound healing and transformation to integrate all parts of themselves and live as their highest, truest expression. A mother of three and lifelong seeker of truth, Jeri has trained with Zen master Nissim Amon in trilotherapy, bridging Eastern wisdom and modern psychology. Through retreats, trainings, and private coaching, she helps people release the past, embody radical self-love, and awaken divine remembrance, unlocking their capacity to lead with love, live in harmony, and co-create a life of purpose, connection, and joy. Oh my God, all of that just sounds so juicy. So bring it, bring it. The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you, Sherry. Yeah, so my topic today is all about radical trust and really accessing that space of inner peace through radical trust. And so I know that a lot of people have really had their trust is really low these days. And so especially after COVID, and then there's so many scams now, that people are really struggling to trust themselves, to trust life itself. And so, my first question for you is, what is your relationship with existence? And by existence, I mean that could be God for you, universe, source, your divinity, life itself. What is your relationship with life itself? Because to me, this is the foundation of radical trust. Because when you're not trusting yourself and you're not trusting others, that's actually usually a reflection of not even trusting life. So I'd love to know, put in the chat, what is your relationship with existence itself? What kind of relationship do you have? How would you describe it? And just take a moment to reflect on that question. And I encourage you to use a relationship word. Yeah, up and down. So some people have a roller coaster relationship with existence, with life, with source, right? For some people, they say, well, I'm a student. I'm a student of existence. I'm a student of source or God. And then my question to you would be, when do you graduate? And are you tired of all the lessons? And for sure, that's a part of life. Don't get me wrong. One of my core values is growth and evolution. But sometimes, being that constant student can be exhausting. Some people see themselves as a child, right? Have a parent-child relationship with existence. And then often that relationship will actually reflect your relationship growing up, your relationship with your actual parents, where you're trying to be good, be a good little girl, be a good little boy, and always seeking approval. And this is such a key question. And so I remember going through the trilotherapy training with the Zen Buddhist master, Nissim Amon. And I studied with Nissim for 6 years. And there were a few people that showed up year after year every time he came to Canada. And we studied together in trilotherapy. And it changed my life. It radically transformed my life. It really is the personal mastery, I call it, in self love and awakening. And what I noticed after a few years was that there were a few people that were still suffering greatly. And trilotherapy is a pathway to freedom, to release suffering, to really understanding and embodying that pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Understanding that heaven and hell are states of mind. And so what confused me was there was a few people that I noticed that were still very deep in their suffering. And so I sat in inquiry around that. What is that? Why is it that I feel completely shifted, completely transformed, and yet there's some people that have gone through the exact teachings that I have that are still suffering deeply? And it was disheartening, but I sat in that question, and I highly recommend that you do the same, because really the quality of our lives is determined so much by the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves, and really living into that question, that inquiry, the deep questions, which really propelled my whole journey into awakening. Those questions: who am I? Why am I here? What is life all about? What is my purpose? All those things. And yeah, so I'm sitting in this inquiry, like, what is it about me and about them? What's the difference here? Why do I feel so much freer? And why am I suffering so much less? And they're still suffering so much. And the answer that came was that they didn't have as good a relationship with existence as I did. And so then I realized that that lesson that the Zen master taught us was such a key and pivotal lesson, because what I had built was a loving, trusting partnership with existence. And so I would encourage you to look at, what is your relationship with existence, God, source, universe? Is it a trusting one? Is it a loving one? Is it a partnership, a co-creative partnership? And does how you spend your time actually reflect that? Because what you focus on, we all know, you grow it and you expand whatever you're focusing on. You energize that. Your energy goes where your attention goes. And so when we're focused on what's wrong with us, what's wrong with our lives, what we don't like about the world, what we don't like about others, then we can't receive the gift that's in front of us, the gift of life itself. When we're judging ourselves, when we're judging others, when we're judging life, it steals our peace. And a lot of us don't even recognize how often we're living in this space of judgment, of needing to control things, of wanting things to be different than they are. And that all equals resistance. So we know that what we resist persists. And many of us resist life, resist what is. We are in judgment, and then we have this wall in between us and life, and there's no intimacy and there's no connection. And so if you really want to build trust, it starts with a trusting, loving relationship with life, with existence itself. Moving from victimhood, that life is happening to me, to empowerment, that life is happening for me. And then what I really help people move through is the dark night in between. Life is happening for me, where they've taken control of their lives. They've taken control and they've started to notice and become aware of, what are they energizing? What are they focusing on? They have a gratitude practice. They have vision boards. And so they're really getting that, yes, I trust life. Life is happening for me. And then one day they realize, I don't actually know how much I control here. And this business of constantly checking my focus and my thoughts, it can be exhausting trying to control everyone and everything, including ourselves, and catch ourselves when we say something negative or when we have a negative feeling. What are we focusing on? Stop, observe, okay, and say something happy and focus on gratitude. And it can be quite exhausting. And sometimes it seems like it's not really working anymore. And so we start to question, how much free will do we have? How much is destiny? So that difference, like between free will and destiny, does karma just play out no matter what? And we start to understand that the game of life is how we respond to what presents, and that the difference between a reaction and a response is simply some mindfulness, a breath, awareness. And so then what I help people into is the next level of consciousness, which is life happens through me. So that's why a lot of people call me a dark night of the soul doula, because they're like in between levels of consciousness. And most of the time they're in between life happens for me and life happens through me. And really making themselves available for life to flow through them, to speak through them. And then eventually we are that, we embody that life happens as me. So in order for life to happen through you, you really do need to cultivate a loving, trusting, co-creative partnership with life, understanding that life needs you, needs your hands, your voice, your love to be able to express through you. Life, in order to be able to express through you, needs you present. You need to make yourself available. Your presence is your availability. And so if you really want to cultivate a loving, trusting relationship with life, with existence, then your presence is key. So ask yourself when you're not feeling good, where are you? What are you focusing on? Are you in the past or are you in the future? Because life resides here. Love resides here. Aliveness resides here. If you're exhausted, you're probably not spending that much time here. You're busy worrying, controlling, managing. And so I'm going to encourage you right here, right now, to just put up your arms. Take a nice deep breath. And just tell existence, calling in God, universe, source, calling in existence, just plugging into the all that is and declaring that I hereby resign. I hereby resign as general manager of the universe, needing to control and manipulate and fix and change, judging and resisting what is. It's exhausting. And it pulls me out of the now. It pulls me out of the miracle zone, the pure presence that is your automatic healing zone. So if you're struggling with something that just doesn't seem to be letting go of you, it's because you're not spending enough time in pure presence. Your presence is love, and love heals. Your presence is love, and love heals. And when you're in love, when you're in your loving presence, you're available. You're available for the universe, for existence to use you as that vessel. And this is how I prepared for this talk, and this is how I prepare for every talk, is I resign as general manager of the universe, and I declare that I am ready to be your partner. So just breathe that in, open your arms and receive. I'm here, and I am ready and willing to be your loving, trusting partner, co-creating the most beautiful reality for ourselves and others. And then you just take 3 long, slow, deep breaths, and you open your heart to receiving that love, the guidance, and you ask to be shown. Please show me. Show me my next step. Show me who I am. Show me how worthy I am. How worthy of this love and this guidance and this beautiful, loving, connected partnership. Because I'll tell you, your partnerships in life, your relationships in life are going to reflect a lot your relationship with existence itself. We are that. We're all an aspect of the one. And so if you're struggling in your relationship, start with this one. And how do you build trust in any relationship? You spend time, quality time with that individual, with that person. You spend quality time with them. You get present with them. Your presence is, people know they can trust you when you're present. People are drawn to you. Someone that's just soft, open, present, in love. No partner's required to be in love. Your presence is love. Are you here? Where are you? This is my morning practice. Resigning, opening, and really checking in my body. And you can do that too. How open are you? And it starts always with a breath. You can't breathe in the past and the future. As soon as you become conscious of your breath, you're here. It brings you back to the now. It's that built-in tool, this beautiful, pure presence. And when you're present, you're available and you're developing a loving, trusting connection with the all that is, with the infinite. Because us in a body, we're finite, yet we still think we have all the answers. We try and control things, manipulate things, fix things, change things. We judge things. It shouldn't be like this. Well, I say it should because it is. That's the level of trust that I've created and I continue to create. And every so often, I find that I'm judging back in that judging space and trying to control and freaking out, especially before a talk or a summit. And then I go back and I open my arms and I make myself available. And I'm back in love and I'm back in this trusting, loving partnership. And I tell you, it's so beautiful. And so one of the things that I use quite often is forgiveness. Ho'oponopono. And so to me, the purpose of life is to love. That's what we're here. To really express authentically is to express and be and embody love. You are expressing authentically when you're giving and receiving love because that's what you are. You're not separate than love. You've always been that. Unfortunately, we have so many blocks that are interfering with our ability to really be and express and embody the love that we are. That's your very purpose here, is to be who you are. Love. Express love. The purpose of life is to love, and the purpose of time is to forgive. Because forgiveness releases the blocks, it chips away at whatever's in the way, whatever's interfering with our presence, whatever interfering with love and our ability to be that and express freely and fully as that. So, really building radical trust and coming from that place of radical trust, which is the foundation of your life, where you start to release and let go of the resistance that's interfering with your ability to really feel and be alive and impassioned and on fire, like, this whole summit is all about. Like, let's raise that fire. Let's spread that wildfire, that authentic expression where we are giving and receiving love freely and fully and forgiving ourselves when we forget. And so put your hand on your heart and just try this with me. Take a nice deep breath, centering breath, and arrive here because we really do need that loving presence, that connection. Because us as humans, we can't do this alone. This is a very scary place to be if we don't have a good, solid, loving, trusting relationship with existence. The Zen master says it's like standing on one leg, and any wave will just take you out. So develop this loving, trusting relationship. Spend time in meditation and proximity. Release the blocks, putting your hand on your heart and just repeating after me. I forgive myself for believing that life should be different than it is. One more time. I forgive myself for believing that life should be different than it is. I forgive myself for believing that life should be different than it is. And just breathe that in and just notice all the ways that you've been judging life, resisting what is, in opposition and in a battle, in a war with what is, which is kind of insane if you think about it. It already is. It already is. So we might as well accept it. That there must be a reason. That this is life supporting me. That everything, no exceptions, has a gift in it, is life supporting us, supporting our growth, supporting our expression, supporting us to return to love, and often by showing us what isn't love, what doesn't fit anymore into this new paradigm that is heart-led, it is love-led, it's heart-centered consciousness, as opposed to the ego and fear-based programming and conditioning. We are shifting. And so we've got to pack light. We've got to release so much. The density, the blocks, the unresolveds, they're all coming up. They're all coming up to be loved and integrated as wisdom. That's what I mean by release. We need to declutter emotionally. We need to declutter physically. We need to pack light. We need to increase our capacity to hold more light because that's where we're going. That's what we are. And that's how we can change the world. I forgive myself for believing that I should be different than I am. Try that one. And so notice all the ways you've been judging yourself. Judging that you're not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough. And notice and catch yourself and forgive yourself for believing that you're not enough. You're never going to feel fully enough as a human. But if you plug into your divinity and you develop that loving, trusting relationship with existence, then you're going to start to tap into the joy and the love, and you will begin to align with that flow. And it's so, so beautiful. Trusting, loving partnership. And you can also use the statement, I forgive myself for believing that they should be different than they are. So if there's somebody that you've been judging really harshly and unable to really receive their gifts because you're just seeing your judgments, you're no longer seeing them, then you can actually do a little forgiveness work. I forgive myself for believing that my mother should be different than she is. My father should be different than he is. And often that becomes for me, I forgive myself for believing that my mother and that my father could have been different than they were as a child. Because I will tell you that my relationship with existence, with God, universe, source, did reflect a lot my relationship with my parents growing up. And I didn't trust it. And I was scared of everyone. And I was a selective mute and I never spoke because I was living in this constant fear of being judged. And so I did think I was a child and I was being judged all the time. And I was never good enough for my father or existence. So this upgrade is huge. It's the foundation, the foundational tool to really living in that trusting space of inner peace, taking back your peace. And I remember when my partner and I purchased this house. I'll tell you a little story just to really anchor this in. So when we purchased this house, we had been discussing the kind of house we wanted. We'd been writing it down. We'd been doing our manifesting. We'd been putting our order into the universe. And so we found this house and it fit. It checked all of our boxes. It was so beautiful. It was so perfect. And so we put an offer in. We were so excited about this house and this offer that we put in. And then the realtor phoned us and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't get it. There was an offer that was higher than yours and they got it instead. And my partner looked at me and he grinned and he said, pop the champagne. And I looked at him and I just kind of, but I could feel it. I could feel his energy. And he said, pop the champagne. That means we're going to get something better. Because you can't manifest something negative from a space of feeling good and being excited. So he says, I know. But that means there's something better for us. And sure enough, we got an even better house. It was facing the right way. We liked the color more on the same street. And we were just elated. It was absolutely beautiful. So now that's what we do, right? When something happens that maybe we would tend to judge and not prefer, we often use that phrase, pop the champagne, right? That means it wasn't for us. What's for us can't miss us. So we pop the champagne. And when someone cuts us off in traffic, we say, this too is life supporting me. And if something happens with my body, I know that my body is supporting me to return to perfect health by communicating with me. And so even the aches and the pains, there's a gift in everything. This too is life supporting me. And so if you can practice that with the things that do feel good and that you love, yeah, this is life supporting me. This chair underneath me is life supporting me. My heart beating every day unconditionally for me, nonstop, is life supporting me, loving me, telling me I'm worthy. Yet I'm arguing with life itself. I'm sorry, but I'm not worthy. Like putting ourselves on a higher tribunal than God, than life itself, like arguing I'm only worthy of this much. It's all life supporting us, the light, this body. When we get sick, when we get cut off in traffic, there's a gift. There's a gift, there's an invitation to open even more, to make yourself more available, to be in that co-creative, loving partnership and build that solid foundation of trust. Yeah. So I'm just going to wrap it up with just a statement that I often use with my trilotherapy coaching group and in coaching. It's just to put your hand on your heart, take a nice deep breath. Really feeling the beating of your heart and plugging in to life itself by being fully present, feeling the aliveness in your body, the vibration, your heartbeat. And then repeat after me. Dear life, existence, God, universe, source, please show me how worthy I am of your love and support, and help me to believe it and to receive it, no matter how beautiful it is. Breathe it in. Thank you, because you are worthy of all the love and all the support in the universe. And we need to open our receivership because we can't receive what we don't believe. And if we believe we're not worthy, we're blocking it, blocking it. So that's why I ask, please, universe, help me to believe and to receive it, no matter how beautiful and abundant it is. You're asking to increase your capacity to hold more light, to hold more love. And that capacity, that presence, your loving presence is such a service to the world. So you can stop, worrying so much about your purpose and your mission. Your purpose is just to be who you are, to express that love that you are with whoever is in front of you, right here, right now. Trusting, loving, opening, allowing, allow, allow. And allow is an acronym I discovered. Always live life open and willing. Let it in. You are worthy. Hey, Sherry.
Oh, Jerry, that was so beautiful. Thank you for that. I feel like I just went to church or something, right?
Okay, you're
Oh,
not the first person that said that. They're like, you should be like a preacher or something. But that's what I do, right? I open it and come, and I don't even know what's going to come out
that's
of my
right.
mouth.
Yeah. Dorothy says, I love your message, Jerry. So inspiring. Tracy says, thank you. Yeah, just so powerful. And I hope it's okay I share that. I know that, the speaking thing isn't always like it's a challenge for you. And but what I love is that you really practice what you're sharing here and you tap into presence and it's so powerful and no one would know. I know I think it's not your first love to be on a stage or but yet you would never know that, Jerry, because you're so brilliant at tapping into this loving presence and it sure comes through. So thank you for that. And I love how you were sharing about the pop the champagne and there it is, life supporting me. Like I just feel like I want to offer to everyone through your talk, like if we just made that shift and bit we're in that because I know there's different things going on for me right now. And I'm like, right. That reminder to just say, oh yeah, pop the champagne. Like that didn't work out because something even better is on its way. That's not for me. And oh yeah, there's life supporting me. Awesome.
Mm, thank
What a
you. Yeah, I
huge
use those tools
shift.
all the time. I really do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so powerful. And I love that you started with mastering self-love, right? If I believe you've heard me say that self-love is up underneath everything. If we can master self-love, and I know you're brilliant at supporting people and doing that, wow, that creates an authenticity wildfire. So thank you, Jerry. I want to give you just a quick opportunity to share your gifts. I'm going to put them in the chat right now. I know your free gift is the Love and Alignment Breakthrough Session.
You bet. Yes, I love just connecting with people and helping them realize, who they are and how do I align with that.
Hmm,
So, yeah, I would love to just connect with you. It's a free 30-minute call and we'll have a beautiful breakthrough together.
awesome. Thank you for that. Very generous. And as well, your VIP gift, Love Yourself Through Transitional Times course and one-on-one coaching call. I'm going to put the link for VIP in the chat. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's like my baby. So I touched on some of it today, really that foundation of trust and how key that is. But there's the five tools that came through me when I made myself available, and yeah, they've just turned into kind of one of my signature programs that has absolutely changed my life and so many other people's lives. And so yeah, I just wanted to give for free the 5 day challenge, which is, well, it's a bit of a challenge anyway, where you really practice embodying each of the tools. And the first one's trust. The second one is really opening to being a witness, an observer. So that witness consciousness, which is again a superpower. Opening, which I also touched on today, is the second O in tools. Then, of course, love, and love in action is service. So tools is an acronym: trust, observe, open, love, and serve. And you get 2 hours training for each one.
Powerful.
I'll tell you, yeah, it
It
shifts
is. It's
everything.
juicy. I've been through that too, so I can vouch for it's so powerful. I love these VIP gifts that everyone's bringing. Thank you for this, Jerry. A reminder again, the link is in the chat. If you feel called to take advantage of that, please do so because you're going to get the recordings of all the speakers. This incredible gift from Jerry. Again, it's $47 Canadian. It's just has so much value. This gift alone is beyond, of course, worth that. And there's so many more. So thank you, Jerry. It's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you, Sherry. And thanks for doing this and just spreading the love. It's amazing. You're
Oh,
amazing.
thank you. Thank you. You are as well.